Oh, sweet mother of
Bacon!
Earth is a beautiful place. It's a shame that we're so mean to it. We're not really mean to it because just remember, Earth is just a giant ball of rock with water.
But we
and stuff
live
on it.
here.
And that's the point. Because everything we do to Earth doesn't matter to Earth. Earth is Earth was here for billions of years before us. It'll be here for billions of years after us. But if we want to be here for another little while, we need to get our act together. That's all
Yes,
I'm
we
gonna
do.
say. Regardless of your politics, it's about preserving the human race. So,
Yes.
so stop being idiots, humans. Anyway, soapbox away.
Muscle fatigue inhibitor. And this is OsteoX, which is a rapid bone density enhancer. And I strongly
I don't trust you either.
use these as well before we land.
It's not the landing I imagined.
This you left with your bunk.
She don't want that.
No,
You searched my quarters?
yes, I did. Because I have orders to follow too. The defense minister wants you wearing this if you're stable. There's a lot riding on you, Gunny. Now is not the right time to go to war.
They keep saying that.
Because really, honestly, there really isn't often a right time to go to war.
No, it's not.
War is best avoided. Sometimes it's necessary, but most of the time it isn't.
Did you see the ocean?
Briefly.
What was it like?
Dirty.
They.
And the stench was like a recycling bin.
Oh,
That's
nasty.
one more thing they've taken for granted.
Look what we've done.
Maintain your dignity. Stay strong. Not here to give the blues anything to laugh about.
What do they need those for, the sun? And why she left her shades?
Because she doesn't want to. She wants to see things as they really are.
They didn't notice she don't have them?
I think they're busy paying attention to themselves.
Oh, I didn't need to see that.
Uh-oh.
On your feet. Looking for sunglasses too, Gunny?
No, sir.
Told you not to look up, though. Because one of the things I love about this show is how they really show how things that we take for granted would be so overwhelming to people who didn't actually grow up here. You know? Like if you grew up on Mars, as far away from the sun as they are, you this level of sunlight would just be
The Armageddon
excruciating.
nearly. They should have gotten long-range scans of the Eris impact site by now.
Just some preliminary atmospheric readings. It's nothing more.
I wouldn't mind being in that loop.
Well, I think you have more than enough on your plate already. The fleet's headed to Ganymede, spoiling for a rematch. The Martian delegation is here willing to talk. I think one of us needs a clear head for peace to really get a chance.
Of course,
Seriously, doubt we'll find anything down
if we're lucky.
I have some drone surveillance of a Martian puking as soon as he steps out of his dropship.
Hmm.
If you need a cheap laugh in the meantime.
there. Maybe later.
If that ship does find something on Venus, Aaron Wright is not going to tell you shit.
Maybe you need to go
That's why
too.
I have an inside man.
Can you be trusted? I don't think so.
The Secretary General would like to formally extend his greetings.
Prime Minister does the same.
Perhaps we should begin with a moment of silence for the lives lost on Ganymede.
Of course. It's important to remember the terrible cost of the battle.
In victory or defeat,
That's a good thing to keep in mind.
you should spread it to your fleet.
Maybe you could tell them when our ships get to Jupiter. It won't take long.
We're looking forward to it.
Jeez, get a room, you two.
The reason we're here is to prevent a war. Let's start by remembering the fall.
So the issue at hand is de-escalation. Let's get right to it.
A lot on our agenda.
Survivor's guilt.
Mirror. Window clear.
Wow, that's neat.
It's doable now, actually.
This is Marine Gunnery Sergeant Roberta Draper. She will be giving you her account of the battle. And in the interests of transparency, you're welcome to examine her power armor as well.
Its systems were badly damaged, but the logs will corroborate our timeline of the events to the extent that they can.
Thank you. I'm sure that will all be very informative.
We observed movements on the UNN line approximately 2 kilometers distance and weapons fire. The UN Marines appeared to be charging our
So
position.
you're saying that we opened fire on you?
No, sir. We were out of contact with our ship and unable to confirm, and at the time, our comms were jammed on the field.
Is it possible that your Marines were testing their gear or conducting some sort of training exercise?
It's possible. We also had lost contact with our units.
My team formed a firing line and prepared to engage if the Blues, the UN Marines, crossed 500 meters, which would have put them on our side of the zone. They were closing in on us fast. We mistook a training exercise as an active engagement and opened fire without orders. As commander of the fire team, the responsibility is mine.
The battle on the surface is what precipitated the battle in orbit. That's what devastated Ganymede Station. That's on YouTube. According to our investigation, it was Private Richard Travis. that
Oh,
fired the
no,
first
they
shot.
didn't.
He was born on Earth. His parents emigrated to Mars when he was a child. He'd had some discipline problems recently, which suggest he might have been trying to prove that he was more Martian than Earther. And what better way to do that than to take out some Earthers?
Okay.
Scapegoat.
Okay.
We appreciate your candor.
Thank you, Sergeant Draper. We can't change what happened, but we can move forward in the effort of peace. Ganymede Station is an important food supply outside of Earth and Mars, and it's in neither of our interests to leave it crippled.
I think these guys do the same thing that Lost did, where their titles tend to have dual meanings or multiple meanings. Because, and I didn't think about it until just now, but obviously, Weeping Somnambulist, we talked about that at the beginning, is a crying sleepwalker, right? So it applies both to the ship itself and to Bobby in this episode, because she essentially was kind of sleepwalking through her role as this, giving this performance on Earth, and of course, the crying part, like dealing with the fact that she lost her people and that they laid everything on her friend or
I couldn't believe that.
her subordinate and all that sort of thing.
Always looking
So-
for a scapegoat.
Well, I mean, in politics, you do need something like that. If you have a situation where there was a confrontation and both sides don't want it to go any further, someone's going to have to take the blame.
Well,
Saving face is a big part of politics. It's one of the reasons why, I'm glad I never went into it, because there's so much. Even if you're not a bad person, as a politician, you have to do things that are less than honorable sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, you have to cover things up. You have to do deals behind the scenes.
do you have to, or you just believe
You
that's how
do.
the game is played?
You do, because of the saving face part. Because when you have two parties, both sides of which have people under them or looking to them who are expecting them to put their interests first, right? Now, let's say you have a situation where the only way you're going to be able to move forward is if somebody gives something up. But you can't really let your people know you gave it up, or else they're going to get mad and
But
they won't
this
be able
is-
to give it up anymore. You
This
know what I
is
mean?
what's happening. I mean, the only thing is, I disagree with the fact that they put the blame
They
on
threw him
Travis.
under the bus like that. Yeah.
And it can be looked at a couple ways. the fact that he was an Earther,
Which is why they chose him to be the main scapegoat.
and also the fact that his family left Earth and became a Martian.
And that it was in his discipline record that he had some recent issues as
You know,
well. You know,
so I was as bad as Gunny, and where I wanted to, it just pissed me off, and I'm like, well, why him? You know,